Alright, cunts, welcome back to practicing. Fuck, I forgot to open up my iPad. Yeah, artwod fundamentals, beginner roadmap, blah blah blah, single rounding, right? Join me, let us draw together, right? Practice. Practice makes what? Permanent. Permanent where? In your long term memory. How much practice? Until you understand it a decent amount more. What am I doing? I'm doing single rounding, but obviously a more complicated version where I create a shape, I try to make it complex, and then I try to memorize it and rotate it from memory, right? The whole recall, all that stuff. But join me. Practice whatever your level that is slightly outside your comfort zone. Let's say a good 20 to 30% outside your comfort zone, right? And oh, what the fuck? The app is not working. I guess I'm just padding for time right now. But oh, I got a comment. I guess while I do this, I got a somebody messaged me on Instagram. I've been getting this not often, very like every couple months at this point. Somebody will message me on Instagram after finding my channel, and they'll jerk me off and be like, "I love your content." And but this time there was a twist, for I got active criticism, and I can't believe it. I can't believe they had the audacity to criticize me after everything I've done for them, provide free value, content, begging, all that good stuff. But that was their problem. They're like, "You swear too much." They're like, "Bro, your shit's amazing. You're doing something on the internet with drawing what nobody's ever seen, and your progress is incredible, and you're doing all the right things, blah blah blah." But they're like, "You swear too much." I know a lot of people that I would want to watch your content, but they will not, like relatives, and this guy's daughter as well, right? His name is Mohammed. I'm not gonna dox him past that, but he's from a place where Mohammeds are very common, such as Sweden or France. But yeah, and to that I say, I told him I appreciate his. I'll just start drawing. Draw along with me. Come on, get off your ass. Let's go. You can do it. Why can you do it? Because you are you, and I am Jew. And with that beautiful combination, let's bomb some lines. But you see what I mean? Like this is the type of shit that the relatives will not like. They will not like this outlandish, absurd, controversial, unnecessarily crude sense of humor that's just existing to elicit a reaction apparently. But yeah, what the fuck am I saying, bro? The second I start drawing, I just lose myself in the moment, the music. I'm never gonna let it go. But yo, what the fuck am I saying? Literally, what am I saying? The point I'm trying to make is they basically said my reducing my swearing will create the audience that I want. The point I'm trying to make is I don't want an audience that does not want my personality, right? Many of you, those of you, the few of you who actually do watch my content stick around. I don't know, some sort of brain damage, but no, there it's clearly because of my fucking giant dick and my beautiful voice, right? One or the other. You either rolled your eyes at that comment, you're like, haha, classic Viggy, or you actually laughed and you're like, oh, I love it when he says no words and extremely unnecessary crude remarks, right? That's the audience I want, man. That's the audience I want. I mean, I just want people who enjoy my content. For me, that's an incorrect angle, clearly, because I'm fucking rambling while I'm trying to draw. But that's the whole point, isn't it? It's you don't like who the fuck wants to watch someone who just does their best to appeal to everyone. A channel that tries to appeal to everyone appeals to no one. Right? It's too sanitary. It's kind of disgusting, and you all know I don't shower, so that's not what I'm about. Oh, this is full of plenty of mistakes. But let's see. But yeah, that's what I have to say. So, Mohammed, thank you for your comment. Thank you for your support. I mean, I already told him all this when I responded. But the point is, I'm never changing who I am, and I'm never. Oh, unless of course I get paid copious amounts of money. Don't forget that part. He also said the begging for money makes me come off as cheap. I just say I'm a realist in this day and age with this economy, right? I will sell my soul. Actually, I say that, but there's no fucking way in hell, right? Unless it's, I don't know, like $10, right? Unless it's beyond $10, there's no way in hell I'll change my personality for the contents of someone who's watching, right? I think that's reasonable. But yeah, that's what I have to say to that. I highly doubt any of you who actually enjoy my content would be ecstatic if I was like, hey, by the way, guys, I'm no longer gonna be me, right? Because Then I don't know what the fuck you're watching for if you're not watching for. Oh Jesus. Oh god damn it, these unnecessary burps and the beautiful commentary known as Vicky, right? At least that's the way I see it. But yeah, I appreciate all the support that Muhammad has given me. Right? He's like, I don't. He personally said, he's like, I don't give a shit. I will watch you. But I think he's genuinely so concerned that this channel, because I want it to be big, but at the same, yeah, that diagonal is so off. Because I want it to be big, but at the same time, I'm doing a lot of things that the algorithm deems unworthy. Right? You cannot swear. You cannot do blah blah blah. That he's concerned that okay, his goal is to be huge. One thing I'd like to say is people underestimate how much of an audience there is for anything. Like think about all the fucking YouTubers who have at the very least 5K subs plus, right? Not that I'm there, but clearly there's an audience for everything, right? They're an extremely niche audience, and my audience isn't even that niche. It's just people who want to get good at art, right? That makes sense to me. What the fuck am I doing, bro? Literally, what am I doing? Okay, that's supposed to be an upward diagonal. See, yeah, because I fucked this thing up, the perspective's all off. I'm gonna have to, I'm gonna cover that and then I'm gonna redraw it in a proper perspective, right? One thing I like to take the advice of people that's convenient to me in the moment. So Peter Han says, if it looks like shit, just move on. In this context, Mr. Han, conqueror of men, I will do exactly that. Let's just study this for 10, 20 seconds and then I'll cover it. Right, but yeah, that's my, I guess, is it a rant, is it a tangent, or is it just an aggression? Aggression? Is that a word? An addressing of a fan, of a wonderful fan. Right. TLDR, I appreciate all the support. I'm never changing my personality nor my content, and I'm gonna keep becoming the GOAT. Simple as that. Right? Watch me become great. And watch me become great, right? Me specifically, not some fucking sanitized version of me, unless they give, of course, more than $10. We use joke, but no, seriously, like I'm not changing myself, right? Unless my channel literally gets taken down or banned because somebody gets so offended by my swearing and crass humor, right? Juvenile as I am, only then will this channel die. And it's unfortunate because if it gets stopped before. I mean, it's such a small channel. I don't think anything's gonna happen. But let's just cover that. But if something does, that's just disappointing because this is not just my fucking. This is not just my YouTube channel, but this is the channel I've had for my entire life. Sad. Okay. No, I want to do it from the top again because obviously I. What the fuck, voice crack? Obviously I. I fucked up the perspective quite drastically, right? So that's the thing. That's the beautiful part is sometimes, but I have to be able to see that. See, that's the thing. You see that little calculation I just did? The goal is to be able to see that in my mind. And that's where mistakes, beautiful mistakes occur. That's a bit more accurate, I think. And then, let's see, I need to be able to visualize this in my mind as well. Right? It's not perfect. But then again, you're either perfect or you're not me. I didn't come up with that in case somebody's like, wow, that was a good line. That was not me. That's Team 4-star, you know, from DBZ, right? There you go. This is the shape. See, memory drawing is getting a lot better. Getting a lot better. Okay, now how I had it go like this, right? It was over here. down, and then we. Again, I'm always trying to think about the box. That's a fuck up, actually, now that I look at that. No, it isn't. Hold up. The perspective I'm losing. My own mind, but that's okay. I just have to keep reinforcing it to myself as I draw, which is the difficult part. Right? The difficult part is never the drawing, it's the thinking, which is what drawing is. Again, right? Drawing is thinking. Did I have anything here? I honestly don't think I had anything particularly interesting. Okay. Now this is the part where I guess I can add a little bit of indication, because this is obviously, we need to know that this is coming up. Right, so what we can do is, because this is literally like that. It's up. Is that the shape? Yeah, that is the shape. See? So obviously I made it bigger, but I'm still trying to figure out how I can make unique shapes. But this is why did this shape look so awkward, uncomfortable? Because I was literally talking while drawing, right? But I wasn't doing a focus talking while drawing, explaining myself and actually focusing. I was going on a tangent, a rant. What the fuck am I trying to say? I was going on a little explanation as to why I am the way I am and why I will continue to be the way I am, which is completely irrelevant to the act of drawing. So let's try that again. Let's really, really use our brain. Again, the more mental discomfort that we experience, the better, right? Obviously, there is a Goldilocks zone where we experience, let's say, about 60 to 70% discomfort, but it's within our means, right? So again, let me start off with something like this, right? Again, I'm trying to visualize everything, right? That's not bad. There you go. See, it's a little diagonal. And you'll see what I mean when I do, okay, that's an incorrect, okay, well that's off perspective. But you guys will see what I mean in just a moment. Let's see, again, I really like doing diagonals because it forces my perspective knowledge so much. So, and again, these thin lines are also a great way for me to genuinely practice the rounding as well, visualizing the rounding, right? So if you're wondering what I mean by the fact that this is a diagonal, well, this is where there you go, see? Hope that makes sense now. And we'll add another diagonal here. Right? And then I have to think, like, okay, what's the even? Is that correct? Maybe, maybe not. Right? We'll have to see. And again, I'm constantly trying to make things as difficult as they can be for me. And that's one thing for anybody listening. I really want to reinforce that. Why is my voice suddenly changing? Who knows? I'm a man. But what the fuck am I saying? Got caught up in my own bit. But one thing I want to reinforce is the fact that you really just always want to be pushing yourself. Like, I'm always trying to visualize the perspective. At no point am I not trying to visualize perspective. What a sentence, right? But yeah, that's what I'm always trying to do. And again, start adding all these little things to make it more hard surfacey. Right? This obviously could have been curved a lot better. Same with that, perspective wise. But you see, this is how we add interesting shapes. You know? At least that's my belief. This is how I'm trying to add interesting shapes. Right? And sometimes it'll work and sometimes it won't. And that's what we're just trying to figure out. Right? At what point will it not work? And at what point am I just a god? See? Now that looks relatively interesting. And I can do something like this. Because I want, obviously, complexity. That's what I'm aiming for right now, is just genuine complexity. What can I do here? And again, always thinking about the perspective, right? But the whole point of why I'm explaining everything out loud is so you can understand my process. And you can emulate parts of my process which you feel you want to emulate, and then you can completely disregard the others as to which you think, that's not for me. And that's the most important part that I want to showcase, is the fact that it's completely normal and it's honestly encouraged to only take the parts of a process which you give a shit about, right? That's the way I see it. Because if you try to listen to everything everybody tells you, you're never gonna actually learn anything. And I think that makes sense, right? Like what it does, there's no benefit to trying to take everything into account. See, like that was a fuck up, but it's still relatively in perspective, so it kind of makes sense. Right? Very complicated rounded shape, which I'm happy about. More complicated than or it's on the same level of complications that my previous ones were. Again, I always try to push the extent of my lines and their quality, like so. Right? And let's do something like right there, right? Oh, wait. Oh, Jesus, bro, the fucking T-burps. That's a great excuse, isn't it? You either like me for me or you don't, and they just continue being completely disgusting, right? And they're like, well, he's such an honest, such a humble guy. Right? I guess I'm just gonna have to accept that explanation. Reality, I just want a reason to be a gross piece of shit. Isn't that what we all want, man? Isn't that what we all want? Okay, now let's do something like. Let's see, it's coming over here. Right? That one will be, this one will be, wait, how should I do this? I guess I could do this. Right, and then we'll do another one. Something like that. That's a lot of shit going on. Jesus Christ. Let me make it even more annoying. Let's just keep making it more annoying. Because the thing is, the reality is the fact that something this complicated, in the sense that there's a lot of stuff happening to it, and little details like this exist. I've been looking at helmet designs and stuff like that, right? And they're all like this. There's all like giant shapes and then smaller shapes inside them, right? So it's almost a necessity for me to be able to not only create shapes like this, but to be able to memorize and rotate them, right? But I'm gonna rest my brain, and I'm gonna come back and memorize this to the best of my ability, right? So, BRB. I encourage you to rest your brain as well. Anyway. But yeah, I guess on the topic of my content, quote unquote, right? I'm not even a year into making content, and already I have a lot of people believing in me, and I already have a couple people telling me that. To be honest, only a couple people. The art community is so nice, which is why my thumbnail is I'll take advantage of every single one of you. I love that. Like even when they're being dicks, they're being such courteous dicks. They're like, I think what you're doing is stupid, but that's your thing, man. Hey, it's all good. Um, Damn, this is a really complicated shape. I'm gonna stop talking about random bullshit and just memorize this. I just took it how complicated I made this, so just gotta memorize it now, right? To the best of my ability, and then we'll rotate it. You know, this is the anchor point I guess I'm creating, but this is the difficult part because, oh god, I have to sneeze. Okay, anyways, this is the difficult part, right? Where I really have to analyze, and this is the part of the art process that I want to make as clear as ever, which is there's just a moment of silence while this guy is really trying to memorize and understand, and that is art, right? Just many moments of concentration, and I guess in this case silence, right? But that's the most important part. Like the silence we're gonna hear. That doesn't make any sense. The silence we're not gonna hear, what we're gonna be experiencing is the part where I'm experiencing the most amount of cognitive friction, and that's where I'm learning the most. So yeah, let me think really hard. Damn. Okay. That's it. That's all the time I'm giving myself. That is a very difficult shape, everybody. That's a very difficult shape. So let's start to memorize, right? Recall all that shit, which is great. This is actually probably the best way to learn is recall, right? Okay. So let me. Which way do I want to rotate it? See, it's difficult because while I'm thinking which way I want to rotate, I'm already losing what I'm trying to recall, right? So we have to keep that in mind. But again, art is a process of patience. So I just have to patiently take my time with the recall itself. Right, and again, it's not just about recalling the shape, it's about recalling the proportions as well. Right, and that's also extremely difficult, let's not forget. It's all very difficult. Right? And let's see. So this is the box I put it in. And again, the thing is, it's not just recall anymore, everybody. It's also just, it's also the orientation that I've chosen as well. We have to acknowledge that as also an extremely difficult part of what I'm doing, right? Orientation I've chosen is very difficult. Objectively, it is very difficult. Right? It's extremely difficult. And why did I choose it? Well, I just explained it. Because it's very difficult. I now have a million things to think about, and I'm losing my recall. But I'm also I'm losing my recall. I'm losing the ability to even understand what I'm drawing. And I'm focused extensively on just the spatial reasoning aspect of it as well, right? And this is where my brain is experiencing the absolute most amount of friction. And that is the best part completely. Like this right here. Whether it's right or wrong, is the best part. Right? I don't even know if there's a thing down here. Like, what does this end like? I guess, for the sake of just the shape, right? Oh, I didn't even make it in the middle. So see, it's not even centered, but we're just gonna pretend like it's slightly centered. Now I may actually, by connecting this line, I may actually be closing off some other things, right? But that's okay, because that's just how it is. Now we have something else. Okay, well, I can add this because that's not too difficult. Right? Like, I at the very least, I'm glad I remembered that shape. But let me take a sip of my tea first. Oh, see, I'm patient, but I cannot wait for 5, 10 years from now when I've extensively proven that these methods, the fundamentals, all the things that I'm doing right now, is what creates great draftsmanship. Right? Again, there's a lot of things I don't know. I never want to say there's a lot of things that my way is the only way for all of art, but I can definitely say my way is an extremely fucking amazing way. And it's not my way, by the way. The way, I guess the better way to say it is the practice I'm engaging in, right? That's probably better for your egos. Or how dare he fucking copyright the art learning process? No. When I say my way, I mean just the path that I've chosen based on the minds of those who are better than me, right? Antonio Stapertz, Kim Jung-gi, Peter Han, any of the comic book legends like Jim Lee. Brian Benjamin's always talking about understanding the shapes. Always. That's like his number one piece of advice. And he's like, he even says, like, this is always what I say. It's always what you need to know. Rembert Montelde. That's difficult with my fucking ethnic accent. Okay, so what happens here? Is it... No, it's another diagonal. Like so. And is it... Did I make it jut out? Is it going inwards? No, it's just coming out down here. Yeah, and then that's when the pipes... So what we need to do is this. Oh, let me do this first as well. There you go. And then it basically, was there a cutout here? There might have been. And then it was coming out of that cutout, right? So what actually happened? Again, recall. Let's keep reinforcing, at least I guess what I'm trying to do is continually remind you guys that this is extremely fucking difficult. Right? But you see how the more slowly I go at it, the more I understand. Right? I think there's actually this as well here, right? Like that little shape. Yeah, I think I actually put it on the wrong plane. It looks stupid now, but whatever. I'm laughing, but I'm dying inside. Let's see. And again, it's been half an hour? Half an hour, I've drawn 3 things, right? This is the quote-unquote, people call this the unsexy part of learning. For me, this is the most stimulating part because I'm actually using my brain. But what happened here? Did I have another diagonal? So was it coming out like this, and then another diagonal, right? Like so, and then I had my shape like that. I feel as if that's the explanation, right? But before I do that, then I might as well just start with the shape. Okay, I think I remember. So we'll do this, and then we'll do this, right? And then we'll do, right? And then it had a, like that, right? It wasn't it some sort of diagonal cutout that I made? Did it just stop here? I think. So was it something like, this could be wrong. I think this is actually wrong, but just for the sake of something. What that something is, I don't know yet, but just for the sake of, okay, see, so that's obviously off perspective. See, it's like that when it should be going that way. Okay, so that's a good thing that I was able to acknowledge that at the very least. Right, and then this is where I had, obviously I think this is a bit bigger than the initial one. And then it was something like this, right? Okay, so perspective is definitely wrong there, and that's on me. I rushed that. Right, I rushed that, but again, it's okay. This is how we learn. There you go. Something like that, I think, is the shape, right? And then, oh well, I guess we'll complete this. And okay, so I think this is obviously much larger because it has to be much larger. I don't remember what the shape was anymore, but this is the beautiful part, is I still know that there's a, let's just give it 1 because obviously I can't fit both. Right? I think. We'll see. I'm pretty sure I missed a lot, but honestly not that bad. So okay, so a couple things. Yes, I completely forgot about this. Right, so this right here. I see. I forgot about it. I remembered it while I was drawing it, but then I forgot to add it just at the end right now. So we got this relatively. Oh, I forgot to add the little inserts there. Okay, so we forgot this. We couldn't make space for this because I made this too short. Okay, so this was like a proper cutout. So that's my mistake. It should have been extended down like so. Come out like that, right? This is supposed to be longer. Okay, so okay. So it's the cutout, and then it comes out of the cutout. There you go. And I see. Okay, and then it's following this perspective, and then it's like that. I got that right. So we missed this cutout, which made this incorrect. We didn't make this as long because we missed that this cutout was this diagonal subtraction was even. And then obviously this was on the wrong plane. We missed this right here. So I missed 1, 2, 3 things, which isn't bad. And the proportion is actually relatively accurate. Okay, I'm gonna rest my brain. That was pretty good. You see, it's all about patience, but again, girls. Right, I have to make sure that I mention my fucking like 2 female audience members, right? My girlfriend, and then I believe Roxanne GM, right? And maybe Vexel, question mark. You see, when I'm huge 10 years from now, I won't be able to remember all these names. But now, you should really appreciate what I'm able to do now. Right? For you, the fans, who are still not listening to this point at all, because audience retention is absolute fucking garbage. But that'll only be for now. That's my cope, right? This is the fucking... Muhammad is right. He's like, oh man, you gotta stop swearing, you gotta stop being yourself. It's the only way. Sell your soul. That's one of my thumbnails, right? You wanna sell your art, sell your soul first. Well, I'll sell my art, and along with it, I'll attach a piece of my soul with a giant dick on it, right? And apparently people won't like that either. Okay, I'm going in circles. I'm just gonna rest my brain. I encourage you to do so as well. Thank you, bye. For now, what the fuck? Delicious orange pico tea. But see, this is the thing. Right now, my personality is going to be off-putting, disgusting. Some might even say arousing, but I would say enthralling. But that's only because I'm in the learning phase, right? Once I'm in the 5-10 years from now, I just love using that vague number, so I never have to commit. But once I'm, X amount of years from now, once I'm in the, oh wow, this guy has mastery, quote unquote mastery, or just high excellence over a wide domain of skills in the field, i.e. art, that whatever viewer will be interested in, then it's like, oh, how eccentric, how quirky, right? This is such a unique personality of an artist. Wow, it's like Kim Jong-il. Kim Jong-il was fucked in the head, bro. He had such fucking like his drawings were so retarded, but people, because it was such high level of skill, people were just simply enthralled. They were just like, I already used that word, whatever. They were fascinated. They're like, oh my god, he's so unique, Master Kim. Holy shit. Meanwhile, he's like, I like drawing tits and ass in various amounts of positions. But nobody's thinking about that. Right? Even in the Broken Draw Discord, people are talking about that. They were like, dude, he was so fucking... His drawings are so weird. Not that honestly, I didn't give a shit. I thought they were pretty interesting. But, they were like, his drawings were so weird. But at the same time, they're like, well, he was insane. Like, his skill was insane. Right? That's what it's going to be like for me. Right? Not to his degree. Not anytime soon. Right? The power of yet Carol Dweck. But... not anytime soon, but the point is that for me it'll be the same situation. Right now is this is just some random dickhead on the internet and he swears too much and me no like it, right? But then after a certain point it'll be, oh, he's actually extremely skilled, and he provides quite a bit of valuable information, right? Does that even make sense? That shape doesn't make sense. Nah, it does make sense, actually, technically. But should this also be coming down? Because it's basically a plane change, right? It's going like this, then it's going like that. And this is the actual perspective. So the question is... yeah, I believe this should be there as well. It's cutting out. No, it doesn't really make sense. That was just me practicing. But yeah, that's my belief, and I think it's a very reasonable belief, right? Everybody respects skill. There's nobody in the world who doesn't respect a high caliber of skill, right? Generally speaking, you know, even the most fucking dumb, retarded individual, if they see something impressive, there's some spark in their brain that says, not bad." So that's the point. That's the point we're trying to make, or I'm trying to make, is just it doesn't matter whether you agree or disagree or dislike me. The answer is you will like me because I'm simply going to be so skilled that you cannot ignore me, right? Give all the power to the people. That's the frame we want to use, right? Never do it for yourself. Do it to prove people wrong. And then when you've done that, you can finally say, wow, was it worth it? The answer is no, because you did it for somebody else and not yourself. And that's a beautiful thing. I can't wait. I can't wait to throw my life away for other people's opinions. It's going to be amazing. I think that was a bit more accurate. See, well, now I'm kind of in a loop here because I'm so obsessed with this type of diagonal that I feel as if I'm not even allowing myself to experiment more than I should. So, for example, if I do a diagonal like this, right, what's to say I can't do something like that, right? Why does the diagonal have to continue? Obviously, I'm just kind of messing around, trying to think about different shapes. But yeah, I mean, I think maybe it's best to also experiment with quote-unquote shape design a little bit as well, because I don't want to stagnate. This was pretty interesting. That was pretty cool. I think these are all pretty interesting. But what do I like? Well, what I like is something like that, right? So I like creating, and this is good practice either way. So, for example, if we have a shape like this, I can go straight. And then what's stopping me from making the plane go up to the right and then there, right? Something like that. And then to indicate that this is in fact a higher plane of existence, what is stopping me from something like that, right? Would that not work? And then again, it's all the box that it's contained in. So why can't I do something like but what I'm doing right now requires pretty good understanding of form, right? Not just form, line. Did suffer there quite a bit. See, but now I want to make it very clear that this is a plane change. So what we want to do is, first I'm going to do something like this, because I always like adding these subtractions, or just these little cutouts. They're fun. They're very fun to do. And again, they oh, that was a fuck up. It was supposed to be like that. Well, it's okay. See, that's the mentality we want, everybody. It's okay. And then what's stopping me from doing something like something like that, right? Couldn't I just do something like that? Very abstract, unorthodox shapes that still mess with my understanding of perspective. See? But again, nothing really here indicates that this is a diagonal just yet. But then again, that might literally just be because of the perspective that I've established. Right? If we do it from a different angle, and That's everything, right? Rotating it from a different angle. If we do it from a different angle, and this time I'm just going to look at it so I can prove to myself that I understand what I drew. But if we do it from a different angle, it might look something like this. Yeah, see? Something like that. Not perfect, but we can... No, see, I don't have anything really establishing what this shape is. Unless I do something like that, right? This is a bit difficult, and I think it's the subtlety of it that I've created difficulty. But see, if I do something like that, there you go. Does that establish the perspective a bit better? It's too subtle. I think it's too subtle. It's way too subtle. Yeah, but it's okay. Damn, I've gotten a lot better just at looking at something and rotating it as well. But okay, it's been 46 minutes. Let's draw a complex shape and try rotating it again. Right? Experimentation is good. Experimentation is key when it comes to art, right? And 99% of these experiments are quote unquote failures in the sense that they don't really amount to anything in their individual, but that is the best parts because they don't amount to anything in their individual, right? But let's see if we do something like bring it up, bring it all the way up there. I'm just practicing here, so we can, there you go, something like that. And you might be thinking, what is that? Well, what I'm trying to do is establish some sort of diagonal, like that's going up, right? It's actually probably really hard to see what I just tried to do there, but that's the issue, right? Is basically I tried going this, having a rounding and then connecting to it, but it's not just about having the rounding, it's about trying to make the rounding make sense, right? In terms of which volumes you're indicating and which ones you're not. So this doesn't really make sense, but that's good. That's good. That means I'm on a path towards figuring out how to make it make sense. Anyways, maybe I should just spend the rest of this time just experimenting with this, right? Interleaving, as they say. Do some memory practice, do something adjacent to it, right? But like still multiple rounding, but this is multiple rounding memory practice, creating complex shapes. This is multiple rounding, or sorry, single rounding. I keep saying multiple rounding. This is single rounding, just trying to push what type of shapes like can be created. So again, if we do something like that, right? Does this not make sense? Can I just do... That's just a diagonal, right? And then that could be normal, and then this one is also jutting out. See, that's pretty simple. That's very simple, but I just extended the perspective outwards. Okay, now what if we tried that again? And again, I love fucking... I should start with diagonals from now on. I know I said that before too, but I just forgot, to be honest. Right? So that's an incorrect diagonal. So I should honestly just leave that. Let's just leave it. I'm gonna try to channel my Peter Han here, which is, if it doesn't work, move on. But let's try that again, and let's try to really think about the shape, the diagonal we are making. See, that's a lot better. It's a lot better. A lot better, yeah. And then what's stopping me from doing something like this? Right, which is another diagonal. Now, how can these shapes make sense? That's what is going to create. Let's see, because we've jutted it outwards. Can I do something like this? Does that make sense? No, it does not. It does not make sense. Maybe it does, actually. Maybe it does. This is honestly, like, this is becoming a more advanced version of form manipulation, which is good. I want to make it more advanced, right? I want to advance my understanding, because it's only by advancing my understanding will I advance my knowledge. See, again, I could do something like, right? So plane changes with diagonals can exist. Of course they can exist, but it's just, how do we make it work? Could I do something like this, right? And then what if we have another diagonal like that, right? Yeah, it's becoming very, and this is obviously plane, this is, right? And this is again another plane change. The lines, it's all about the lines, and the lines have to convey exactly what I want them to convey, right? So let's keep trying. Let's keep trying to create an understanding. Maybe even something like, okay, something like that. But then see, would that make sense? And then again, we have a diagonal like that. Then maybe it tapers. Doesn't really work, I don't think. At least not with how I'm doing it. Because, for example, this is the shape, right? This is the rounded shape. And if we're gonna add a diagonal, we could do something like this. See? Something like that. So you can get pretty organic with it, but it's about understanding the logic, right? And again, if I just turn this over here into a diagonal, like so, right? That all makes sense because it's part of the rounding. But then what if we want a diagonal up here? What happens? What if we want it to connect? But that's too organic. I feel as if for hard surface you need some sort of fine line no pun intended, of the fucking line. But between, there needs to be some sort of logic, right? So if I could do something like this, and just have that be a diagonal, right? Which this connects to. And then we could have something like that, right? There, that's a bit better. Then you have to think, what's happening here then? It's all too vague, right? What about this connection right here? Does that still exist? Sure. Yeah, it's very vague. It's very vague. But the thing is, it's good because I'm still training my mind to understand these, right? We just have to figure out a nice way to make it look aesthetically pleasing. Right, so if we have this, and then we can do a lot of things with this, but let's just say see, what can you do with this that looks interesting, right? Well, you can do this, right? Do something like that, and then something like that. It becomes very organic. Then this is actually multiple rounding in a lot of ways. And that's the thing, my skills are starting to bleed together. The more advanced ones with the less advanced ones, I guess you could call it, right? But what is it that I experimented with prior? Like this, I like that stuff. Like kind of like what I did here, right? How much time has elapsed? Okay, 57 minutes. Okay, I'm gonna rest my brain and then we're gonna experiment with a couple more ways this can be done. I'm gonna keep the bottom open for tomorrow's practice for the other hour, right? But, or maybe I'll just draw a complicated shape and, you know, maybe we'll do that. I think I'll do that instead. Yeah, let me rest my brain. It's difficult trying to figure this shit out. And I'll say it again, that's the best part, right? Train your mind to enjoy the difficult things. Now, I wasn't struggling as much, so now it's important, even if it's not like a super complicated shape, let's do some recall, right? Let's do something. So maybe I can just have a shape right here. Okay, now this is the difficult part, which is, right, if that's what we have, yeah, that seems about right to me. Again, trying to do calculations in my mind, right? That's where we make the most amount of progress. We try to do calculations in our mind. There you go. That's not bad. And then we can have, let's see. Something like this. And maybe this is a bit too simple. Okay, so we have that, I guess, and then we can have. There you go, something connecting there. And what else? What else can I do? So that is. Yeah, something like that, right? Same shape. At least I'm trying to make it the same shape on both ends. And what can I do? What can be done? What can be done to make this interesting? God damn it! It feels as if one last thing can be done. That. Hold up. Yeah, maybe that. And then. I don't fucking know. That ended up becoming pretty retarded. But we're gonna try to memorize it. We're gonna try and memorize it. I didn't center it actually. That's the problem. But yeah, let's try to memorize that. Oh, I forgot to fucking do this. There you go. Maybe that makes it a bit better. But let's see. I know what I was going for. It's actually a pretty complicated shape. Not gonna lie. NGL fam, Nagul. But let's see. Doobie dooba. I know I'm just making random noises, but I'm actually analyzing it. Okay, let's cover it now. Do our best to respect. Yeah, to our best to respect the source material, which many people don't do. But let's start it here. Okay, I don't even remember it anymore. But what the fuck was it? Jesus Christ, that's really difficult. Let's try to recall. I thought I analyzed it, but because I'm at the tail end of my hour of practice, my brain is dying. It is dying. Let's see, what was it? Let me start with this, I think. Right, and then I went up, I'm pretty sure. It's the wrong type of rounding, but it's what it is. Is that correct? Probably not, but I am trying my best to memorize. Right? No, no, most definitely not. And then we had, well, we definitely had this, right? Something like that. It's a detachment. And then we had, let's see. Is it coming up through here? Probably not. I think it was over here actually, but who knows? Shit, this isn't even connected properly. This should have been all the way. There you go. Whatever. And I guess that goes up like that. And then we had something like, what was it like? From this angle, what would it have been like? Was is this? I think I actually messed up the angle in general. It should have been more like that than here. Pretty sure this shape is very incorrect, but it's okay because we're just trying to make it make sense. Right? The fuck? That's too long. What'd I fuck up? Something. I'm trying to recall. Trust me, I am trying to recall. Let's see if that was accurate. Not at all. Not at all. Okay, so I fucked this up, which is good. This is too... It's not diagonal enough. The shape was relatively correct. But yeah, it's pretty inaccurate. Oh, I forgot. Oh, so it wasn't like this. It was this way. So, but this, because I didn't account for that change and then the diagonal. Okay, well, that was good. Again, as Kim Jong-il stated many times, recalling 30 to 60% is about the average, right? Even with him, it's just a lot of trying to recall 30 to 60% roughly, and then just keep doing that until what you're recalling becomes second nature, right? So this was a great session. I had a lot of fun. Really pushed myself. I went on some random tangents here and there about how people are gonna love me. But either way, I hope you pushed yourself. I hope you really, really tried, because that's all that matters, right? And I hope you continue to have a love for the craft throughout all the struggles, because the struggles is where the love shows itself. I don't know what the fuck that means. That's deep though. Just accept it as fact. But either way, as always, fuck you for watching. Let me do my hand motions. Fuck you for watching. Keep drawing, and please give me money. Thank you.